Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of The Couch of the Dead. Tonight, we are reviewing the 2017 hidden gem Netflix horror movie, The Ritual. And let's just say it was moose-tastic.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
And we are back. And like I said, we have a great show for you guys tonight. We are reviewing 2017's The Ritual. This movie can be found on Netflix.
So, yes, The Ritual. It is a Netflix exclusive. And but before we get to the movie, what is tonight's creepy cocktail?
Well, tonight's creepy cocktail for me is pineapple moonshine brought to us by our friends at Hillbilly Hooch. And Vanessa's fingering the cat's asshole.
Necro Kitty was off.
And what is your creepy cocktail?
So, I am also drinking from our friends over at Hillbilly Hooch Moonshine, and the flavor is strawberry lemonade. It's one of my favorites. It's really good. Yeah. Shout out to Hillbilly Hooch Moonshine.
And I think before we start, we should start introducing our co-hosts, Necro Kitty. We have the skulls of our vanquished enemies. And we have our buddy Art back here. And if you can't see him, we have our new friend Nosferatu back here with us. He's been bugging me for ages. He's been texting me. He's like, dude, get me on the podcast. So we're on the podcast.
Yeah. He's
we-
friendly though.
And then we have these things, and I don't know what they are, but they look cool, so that's why they're on set.
Yeah. I'm hoping we get more stuff, maybe for Christmas, to decorate our studio.
So anyway, The Ritual, this
Yes.
was your pick.
This was my pick. So this was not a very widespread release that at least I don't remember. I just stumbled upon it shortly after it came out, and I watched it, and I thought it was great. It is a creature feature for those of you who haven't seen it. We can talk about it a little bit spoiler free before we get to the spoilers. After we get to the spoilers, stick around. We're going to play a horror trivia game with some cards.
Got my cards right here.
Yes, we haven't taken a peek at that. So, just to give you some info, let's see. This is from Wikipedia. The Ritual.
Go ahead.
It's my accent, isn't it?
Wikipedia.
The Ritual is a 2017 British supernatural, psychological, folk horror film directed by David Bruckner and written by Joe Barton, based on the 2011 novel of the same name by Adam Neville, or Neville? Neville. The film stars Rafe Spall, Archer Ali, Robert James Collier, and Sam Troughton. I butchered that. As four friends on a hiking trip through a Swedish old-growth forest where they encounter an ancient evil presence. Fun fact, David Bruckner also directed The Night House from 2020. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
It was a
very good
very
movie.
yeah. It was a weird movie, but it was pretty good. It was kept our interest very creepy. They also did Southbound and VHS 2012. Um, Writers, the Joe Barton and Adam Neville also wrote No One Gets Out Alive from 2021, which we saw.
Spoiler: nobody got out alive.
It was a fun movie. That's the one that there wasn't any real dialogue in the whole movie, so that was pretty interesting.
And this movie explores, along with the horror elements, it really explores guilt and that
pain that
is
comes
a
with it.
central theme of this movie, along with guys who are, you get the sense they're lifelong friends, and we can go into it without spoiling the movie, but they go on a trip together, a hiking trip together, and they're in the woods, and invariably they get lost in the woods, and wackiness ensues.
Mm-hmm. It's that old adage. The straighter, the fastest route from point A to point B is a straight line, isn't it? It's not always true.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't go into the creepy woods,
um,
into
Rotten
the
Toma-
scraggly woods.
Rotten Tomatoes has this with 74% and an average rating of 6.1 out of 10. And IMDb has a rating of 6.4. So we'll see what we give it at the end of our analysis. Okay.
So without further ado, prepare yourselves for spoilers.
Yes. So there's a few things happening in the first act, and we're gonna do this a little bit different. But five long.
Well, we meet Phil, Dom, Hutch, Luke, and Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Five friends who are out to dinner,
Mm-hmm. And drinks.
and they are talking about what this year's trip is going to be. You get the sense these guys take trips together every year and do something, and they decide that they're going to go hiking in Sweden, as one would. And
Well, and no, actually, not all of them were on board at first. So, and this is important to note because most of them were more into like going into Las Vegas, which they probably had already done before. Guys trips and whatnot. Also, it's important to know that all of them except one had actually their lives kind of set, either married or soon to be married, or you know kids or whatnot. I think it was the only one who was not on that level was Luke, and we'll see what happens in a little bit. But so yeah, they're all talking about their next trip, and the night is over.
Yep.
They're starting to go home, but Luke, he's not ready to go home because he's still in that. I'm thinking he was still in that bachelor's, stage, maybe.
Well, either way, they decide to go to the liquor store and
Well, he wanted to.
yeah, get partying. And Luke and Robert go into the liquor store,
Yeah.
and they walk in unbeknownst to them in the middle of a liquor store robbery.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke's kind of hiding behind one of the shelves,
Yep.
and
Robert
Ro-
gets robbed.
Robert gets robbed, and he's like, "Hey, you can take everything." Well, the robber wants his wedding ring, and he does not want to give up his wedding ring,
Yeah.
and
Well,
he gets killed for it.
and it's also important to note here. That's the third time I said that. It's important to note that while Luke is kind of hiding behind one of the shelves, he has a bottle of some alcohol in his hand. Um, ready to kind of like attack, but he doesn't. And he sees his one of his best friends gets killed for, or
And he does nothing, not out of maliciousness, but more just out of pure fear.
and I'm honestly, who knows? He might have been frozen in shock, which could happen. I mean, I have never been in that situation, but I would think that it's an experience, and not, maybe not one that some, it's the whole flight or fight. um and his was the frozen one, I guess.
Yeah,
What did I say?
nothing. So, so long story short, we know Robert gets killed, and we fast forward to 6 months later, and the
Mm-hmm.
guys are going through with their trip, and they're in a tent in the Swedish countryside.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff that makes this movie really appealing is the scenery.
Yes.
The scenery, the cinematography,
Mm-hmm.
just some great backdrops.
Yeah.
And
Fun fact, it was not filmed in Sweden. It was actually filmed in the mountains in Romania. And
which is pretty much Sweden adjacent. It's all Europe. It's all the same thing.
yeah. Another thing to note is that they end up going to this trip for Robert in his memory. It wasn't one of the places that they wanted to go, but given that Robert was the one who wanted to go there, I guess that's what they're doing now.
So they're hiking around. They hike up a hill and they find a little rock formation, and they
Mm.
put a picture of Robert in there, and pour out a 40 for their fallen homie, and
Mm-hmm.
you can tell Luke feels very guilty still 6
Mm-hmm.
months later because he didn't do anything, and this is a very overreaching theme in this movie.
Yes, it's so much so that we see some of his dreams, and they kind of bleed into whatever it is that he's dreaming. The the scene of
You're
the
you're you're you're
robbery.
spoiling the spoiler.
No, the scene of the robbery keeps bleeding into his dreams, and then this is because of the guilt. Another thing to say is that the dynamic between the guys, there's a friction, especially between um, Dom and Luke, because even though none of the guys would admit it, admittedly say it, you can sense that they all blame Luke. Hutch and Luke seem to be the closer um, of the guys, and so I know at some point Luke even asks Hutch if if they blame him, because obviously he blames himself.
Mm-hmm. So
What's so funny?
nothing,
Tell the rest of us.
nothing. So some of these guys are not really having fun on this hiking trip, and Dom ends up spraining his knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I have in my notes, little bitch, because Dom is a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
But he did sprain his knee, and it's purple at one point, so you give him a little pass.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, we decide to invariably take the shortcut through the woods.
Right. Hutch is the map guy and
And
the compass guy.
and Hutch is like, "Look, dudes, this is a straight shot. Let's just go through the woods."
Mm-hmm.
So now we have our setup, and we know, okay, they're going into the woods that they didn't originally plan on going through.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
this is the in any movie, this is the let's take a shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things they first notice when they start going through the woods is how quiet
Oh
the
no!
woods are.
One of the first things actually is when they first go into the wooded area, the forest, um, is that, and I call this red flag number one. The compass suddenly goes haywire. That was the first one. Then the second red flag I have here is the forest is eerily quiet.
Oh, not the disemboweled deer in the
No,
tree?
eventually they see that that's the third flag. They stumble upon a fresh kill. He was still bleeding,
Well, it's a disemboweled deer hanging from a tree.
really high up.
Yes. And yeah, they determine it's a fresh kill. You know, there's still
dripping.
like mist coming off the entrails
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And they're kind of afraid, as one would be, that whatever did this could still be around, and they don't necessarily think it's an animal, because what kind of animal would kill a deer and hang it in a tree?
Right, but it's something. Um, I just went like this.
She tried to scroll through her notepad.
So to make things a little bit more interesting, rainstorm, because you know
Well, and
who
it's
doesn't?
dark now. They've been hiking, and
Yep.
it's dark,
It's
and
dark. They're tired
they
now.
they should have been pretty darn close to where they were going by now, according to Hutch.
Yes,
But they're
but
not.
They're not.
So they come upon a house in the
Mm-hmm.
woods. They decide they're going to kick in the door and get in there and get out of the rain.
Before
And,
they
and
go
what
in,
what could go wrong in a house in the middle of the woods
Yeah,
in
yeah.
in a rainstorm?
I mean, we've done a few movies already where houses in the middle of the woods. Yeah, never a good idea. But they're going anyway. But Luke, before they go in the house, he turns to the woods at the door and he feels, hears, or sees something. He's not sure.
Like
Um,
animal noises.
Yeah, but they did see a tree carved with some, one of these Blair Witch Project kind of hieroglyphics. But no one really like believes him, and so he just goes inside. So that was another red flag.
And there's a stove, so they're walking through the house to try and find stuff to break up to put in the stove.
And they see hanging symbols
Mm-hmm.
from the ceiling of this place.
And yes, they go upstairs.
Well, Phil does.
Phil goes upstairs and finds a shrine, what looks like a shrine upstairs,
Well,
and it's a wicker torso. The best way I can describe it is it's a wicker torso. It might have some kind of poison glaze on it. I don't know. Wicker torso with like antler hands.
Yep.
And no head. Because I say torso because it has no head.
Yes.
Because I would have said a figure.
and
But it was just a torso.
And he had antlers, made out of hay, antlers and bird feet. Do you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty
So-
creepy. I named it an effigy because that's what I would think it is.
So they're starting.
Or-
They're starting to have doubts about their shortcut now.
Yeah, I mean I would have been a little bit freaked out by that, but it is warm, not rainy inside of the house, so I guess that's where they are right now.
Yeah, so they get their fire going, and they decide to go to sleep. And
And then here we get a good scene because this is a little chaotic. The next morning, after Luke had one of the dreams, I believe he in his dream was in
well, he
the
wakes up to
liquor.
a very bright light.
yes,
It almost like a bright light you would think like would be like an alien abduction kind of light, like a really bright light coming through the window. And he opens the door of the house, the cabin, whatever, and he's inside the liquor store.
yeah. But then as he starts walking through the aisle of the liquor store, he looks down, he's bare feet, and there's grass. So obviously it's not the liquor store. And then all of a sudden he finds these wounds on his chest.
Puncture wounds.
Puncture wounds, which I thought at first, oh, bullet wounds? No, they're more like puncture. That, yeah.
Well, bullet wounds are puncture wounds too.
Yeah,
technically.
yeah. And then I think Hutch is screaming,
Yep.
and we see Luke kind of snaps out of it, and he goes back, finds Hutch screaming, and he obviously had peed himself. And
Obviously.
then also we hear, yeah, he was. Then we hear Dom also screaming, crying in a corner.
I mean, I hardly ever wake up screaming and peeing myself anymore. Mm-hmm.
Dom is in a corner and he's still sleeping, crying, screaming. They wake him up, and then
He's just freaking out, screaming
yeah,
like, "No, Daddy, don't touch me there," stuff like that.
he wasn't saying that.
Yeah,
And then they're looking for
Phil.
Phil, and they find him upstairs, butt naked, and he's praying to that effigy.
Well, how else would you pray to
No other
an
way.
effigy
No other way.
if you aren't naked?
Yeah.
So obviously they're ready to leave at this point,
Yeah. Yeah, I would say.
and they see more symbols on the trees, and they see what looks like a path that's been trodden, and Dom decides he's like, "Fuck it, I'm taking this path. That's it."
He's still in a lot of pain, actually.
Yeah,
His knee is pretty swollen.
Yeah, he's like, "I want to get out of here. I'm taking this path."
And throughout that, they walk by another cabin in the woods, and this time they're like, nope, 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 and they just keep going.
And Dom's being snippy at this point because he's in a lot of pain, and
Yes.
it's starting to get to him.
Yeah, I think
And-
the tensions are really rising at this point, especially between Dom and Luke specifically.
Yeah, and at this point, Luke he sees a ridge that they're walking across, so Dom decides he's like, "I got to get off my feet." He sits down, and Luke's like, "I'm gonna go check out the ridge because that ridge we got to be just like right over there." And he gets up on that ridge and looks out, and all he sees is more trees, and he's like, "Oh shit! Like we are really lost."
And not
at
just
this point."
that, he at some point feels like he got lost. Everywhere around him looks the same. And then he stops for a moment, and he's looking right through the trees, and this is a really cool part because he's looking right down through all of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
There's like lines and lines of trees, and then he's just staring, and for a moment everything is like very slow in a movie, and he sees a hand retrieve from a tree, but it was really high up. So it was obviously not like a level ground. Obviously he screams in fear and starts running.
So he comes back, tells the guys about this, and finally he shows them the puncture wounds.
Which, why did he wait this long?
Because they're dudes, and dudes don't care about stuff. Like, they get hurt, they don't go to the doctor, you know. And they're getting into this argument now about being on this trip in the first place,
And this is where
Dom Dom starts instigating Luke about Robert,
and how
he was the
basically he
reason that
blames him.
Robert got killed, and he blames him for Robert being killed in the liquor store 6 months ago. And Luke does the right thing, and he punches Dom,
and the other guys.
So
separate
tensions are getting high, and the movie does a really good job of bringing you into that, and you feel that tension.
Yeah,
Between the
definitely.
guys, and these guys are really good friends, but now they know they're hungry, they're cold, they're lost, and
They're miserable.
yeah,
Yeah. They're in pain.
Yep.
Yep.
So as they're hiking along, they see something in the ground under the foliage,
Mm-hmm.
and they find the remains of a tent.
Yep.
They find a wallet. They find some boots, and they're like, "Yeah, this isn't right. Like, who would like leave their wallet out here?" And,
Yeah. And the wallet was one of those that had like pictures in it, like in the old
Mm-hmm.
times. And there's a family and everything. And one of them finds the credit card, and the credit card expired in 1984.
So it's been out there for a long time,
Yeah.
unless the dude was just really sentimentally attached to that credit card,
Mm.
and he just kept it with him. And so the guys are starting to panic at this point. And so night's coming around the bend, and they decide to set up camp again.
Especially because Dom can't continue on his knees, and now Phil is having a lot of pain with his shoes.
Shoes, Zeus, poop, and shoes.
He says something so weird to me because he says, I brought the wrong shoes for this. And I'm thinking, you knew you were going on a hike.
Well, earlier in the movie, he talks about how he got new shoes for this, and they weren't broken in yet. So that's why. Got to break in your hiking shoes. Even if you
Yeah.
get shoes for hiking, you don't break them in.
Yeah,
They're the wrong
don't
shoes.
bring your brand new shoes to hike. It's just. Anyway, so at night here now, Luke is in his tent and he starts hearing a creature outside of his tent and it's huffing. Sounds big, and
It's
the
a-
tent is grabbed.
It sounds moosey.
Yeah. The tent is grabbed. Like we see him inside of the tent, and the tent is grabbed from the top of the tent and swoop up, and it's another dream.
And every time Luke has these hallucinations or visions, it has to do with the liquor store.
Right.
And it kind of morphs into a half liquor store, half forest kind of scene. And
Right.
so at this point, you're thinking, is this just Luke having these hallucinations, or is there something
Mm-hmm.
more sinister going on here that knows about Luke's guilt?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's making, because the first time I watched this movie, I thought, okay, there's something in the forest, or the forest itself knows about this, and
Mm-hmm.
it's preying on Luke's guilt.
Right. Or it's just we just happen to see it from his perspective and no, not the other guys. But regardless, we wake up. Phil is screaming again, and Hutch is not in his tent, so they're panicking.
Mm-hmm.
They all hear a scream and an animal growl in a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And spoiler alert, they don't find Hutch right away.
no.
So they go on without Hutch because they're like, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to get help.
Yeah.
You know? And the guys press on. And this is the first sign that something is really, 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 really wrong.
Yes.
Because they find their buddy Hutch hung up in the tree, just like the deer.
Mm-hmm. He is ripped open, blood still dripping.
Spoiler alert, he's dead.
You think?
Uh-huh.
I wasn't sure at
Uh-huh.
first if he was.
We're like, why did Hutch climb up a tree and disembowel himself?
No, that was really a great scene. I was at the edge of my seat, like. Sorry, no.
And they-
I'm
and they
not
hear-
a psychopath.
they
I just
hear-
like kills. I like
Uh-huh.
good kills in movies.
They hear these animal noises in the distance, and they're like, okay, something, whatever did this is following us.
They keep hiking, and there is they find some sort of like a creek.
Like a riverbed.
Yeah.
Like a semi-dry riverbed, and they see footprints,
Mm-hmm.
and they look pretty fresh, so they're like, okay, somebody's following
Right.
us now.
They looks like they're leading out, so they choose to go the opposite side, which to me was a little weird. I don't know. Would you have gone and followed the footprints?
Well,
If it's
because you
if
don't
it's
know if it's
civilization?
you don't know if it's something malicious. So at that point, you're panicked, and it's a sign of humanity. It's a sign of civilization. So you're gonna follow them most likely because they came from somewhere. So maybe at that point, even if it's bad,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta kind of do what you gotta kind of do in the moment to think.
But they
to
didn't.
try and survive.
They actually chose to follow Hutch's advice to go southeast or southwest.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember now. But so they go the opposite way, and we get a glimpse of what it looks like a massive elk
Or moose.
or moose.
Or squirrel.
It wasn't a squirrel.
Moose and squirrel.
So
Wally World.
yeah.
So they're on their way to Wally World.
no, Phil and Dom, they physically can't continue. They're both down for the count, basically, at this point. So Luke uh, goes and sees another ridge,
Mm-hmm.
and in the faraway trees, and he sees like what it looks like glowing fire torches out in the distance. A
Yeah.
lot of them.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, people,
Yeah.
maybe a way out, maybe
Yeah.
civilization, maybe a Viking death cult. We don't know, but either way, he's like, what do we got to lose at this point? Let's go that way, which was the right call in that
Was
kind of
it?
situation. And excuse me. So,
Oh, so at this point, actually, the creature shows taking and dragging Phil into the woods.
well, yeah, because Phil got attacked by the creature at this point.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So we are down now
To just two,
to
to
Dom
Dom and Luke.
and Luke. And
They're being hunted. At this point, they see the
well,
creature and
they-
they keep running.
they follow this path
Mm-hmm.
with the lit little
And even
torches.
through their differences, Luke is, you know, Dom is holding on to Luke as they try to run.
Well, because I think normally maybe Luke would have been like, "Wow, Dom, you're being little
a little bitch.
a little trifle bitch," but he has the guilt from letting
One
Robert
friend-
die, letting
yeah.
one friend die. He's not gonna let another friend die.
But I mean that now we had Hutch, who is up in a tree, and
Mhm.
Phil, who got dragged into the woods.
But-
So I mean, his last friend. Ugh.
So they're coming down this path, and boom, Luke gets kicked and passed out.
Yeah.
He gets curb stomped, and he wakes up, as most people do in horror movies when they get kicked, chained to a wall. Chained to a wall in like a log cabin, log house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking through a gap in this log house, and he sees people outside
Mhm.
building something. So now
Mhm.
we've established that there are more people in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and his captors come in.
Well, both, I believe, at this point, both. Oh no! Wait, we see another body in the tree, and they find out it's Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Phil is up in a tree also, hang like the other guys.
But
Oh, that was when they were running. Sorry. So they wake up. They're both in the same. Dom and Luke are in the same area. So
chained to a wall.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And
so then
the captors come in, and one of the captors.
well,
It's like
the
your
old
two.
lady comes in.
It's like your two henchmen with an old lady.
Yeah.
And the old lady shows Luke the puncture wounds. She has the
Yes.
same puncture wounds that,
Mhm.
that Luke has. So you kind of get the sense that they've been marked.
Right.
That Luke's been marked. This old lady's been marked by
And-
something.
She gives him some water.
Yeah. Not Dom.
Not Dom. Dom wants water. He didn't get water because
Nope.
he's a little bitch.
No, because Dom
Doesn't
gets
have any.
well, and Dom
functional
gets drug out of the
Yes.
room
Mhm.
and taken upstairs,
Mm.
and we hear him getting the shit kicked out of him, and
Yeah.
he's being prepared
Mhm.
because the lady tells Luke to prepare for the sacrifice.
Mhm.
So we assume that's going to be Dom.
And now this is where we are understanding that there is a ritual that will be happening. This is where we get the name of the movie.
No.
Well, up until this point, I wasn't sure what a ritual had to be. Had to. What ritual? Anyway, so they take Dom to a wooden stand, which is I think what we had seen before being built.
Yeah, it's a big wooden pole,
And he was
and
as
Luke's
a
watching this
sacrifice.
through the hole in the wall again.
Yep. And he was being sacrificed to the creature, I think this
Wha-
is at this
wha-
point that we're thinking.
Well, yeah, Dom told Luke before that he about the dream he had at the cabin
Mm,
when they were seeking shelter, about how he was
yeah,
had a dream that he was being
sacrifice
sacrificed to
to the
this creature.
creature. Yes.
So he had a little bit of a premonition there. And now we're getting super creepy because at this point Dom is it's nightfall, and this it's really cool the way it's shot because everything's lit by torches
Yes.
and fire and the flickering, and you
There's a lady who comes to him.
yeah, well, you see, you can tell that the creature's approaching.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear stuff coming through the woods,
And everybody else, there's a whole lot of people
and
now.
it's very reminiscent of like the scene in King Kong,
Huh.
where King Kong's coming through the woods.
Yeah, okay.
And everybody just kind of stops and it's like silent
And
for a
everybody's
second.
like bow
And-
down on the ground.
And Dom sees coming through the woods his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And we know this isn't his wife.
Mhm.
Because she's got glowy eyes.
And she wouldn't be in Sweden.
Well, you never know. You know, maybe she might have been keeping tabs on him.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets right up in his face. And all of a sudden, she morphs into the face of the creature. Now, we don't really see, it's very close up, so we don't get a good view of
It's
it.
not like a face.
It's like just two little beady eyes.
It's a big elk.
It's beady eyes inside a vagina. That's kind of what it looked like.
No, it looks like a big hole, black hole with beady eyes. But then also
Yeah,
a
vagina.
little hands coming from the side, which it was just this creature
Didn't
is
I just say that?
unbelievable.
Didn't I just say that?
No. Yeah.
So Luke, in the meantime, he's tied up. He's got his hands tied behind his back, and he wants to get out. So he decides that he's going to dislocate his thumbs.
No. So there's a lady who
yeah?
comes to talk to him, and she asks him what is he asks her what is it, and she says it's a Jatori or Jatan. It's a god who they worship, and it gives them eternal life without pain. And he asks why him. So basically, it's because his pain is great. So
Because of his guilt
right,
from Robert,
right.
from letting his friend die.
So she's telling him that during his ritual, he needs to kneel down, or he will be hanged on a tree like the
Like
other.
everybody else.
Yeah. So she's telling him that he was chosen like everyone else who lives there, and she showed him her wounds.
The punctures. They all have the same puncture wounds.
So they all have been chosen for this place and to be in this eternal living cult,
Mm-hmm.
basically. Yeah.
So while Dom is being hung up in a tree, Luke
Trying to.
he dislocated his thumbs
Whew.
and got out of his restraints, and he's sneaking through the cabin,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes across a room with all kinds of like weird mummified remains. It kind of look
Well,
like
he hears like some chanting in this room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and
It's like a mummified church.
yeah.
Mummified
And
people in
these
pews.
things start moving and
Mhm.
kind of coming to
Very,
life.
very, very slow. It's not like they were like, "Whoo," quick. No. But he gets to the
Who?
he gets to the front of this mummified church, and there's like what you would think it's like a priest mummified, and he's just looking at him all around. And then and there's torches, which that's kind of weird.
No, you gotta see where you're going.
Yeah, but they are all like dried, mummified. What is the worst thing you can have around dried mummified?
Well, so Luke thinks this too and grabs a torch and he starts them on fire and he's burning down this cabin. And as he's running through the cabin, going
Hmm.
through, he grabs. They have rifles in there, and he grabs a rifle.
Oh, not before he punches the old lady in the face.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And in the meantime, while this is burning down, the creature finished, hanging Dom up in the tree. And the creature comes back, and everybody's bowing down.
Hmm.
And Luke runs out of the burning cabin, and now we see like the full view of this creature. And the best way you could describe it is like this gigantic mutated moose with a face on its face.
Do
And
I have face on my face?
and it looks like it has like a little person hanging from its face on its face. And like we'll put up the picture. Well, you'll put up the pictures because you really can't
It's
describe
probably
it,
around here right now.
but it's a really cool face on its face
Hmm.
creature because it's got a face on its face.
Yeah, no, we get it.
You know. So it's like if you put a little person on the head of a moose with
But this moose is
with
gigantic.
with
I mean,
antlers for hands, because if you remember,
mhm.
the effigy that they found in the cabin is almost a direct recreation of the face on the face.
Hmm. And this thing is massive. It's so big.
How big?
So big.
Okay.
And so the f- the coolest part here is that we see this creature against the background of the
Of the
fire,
fire.
of the big
It's
cabin.
a really great
it's
shot.
it really is. So
It really gives you a perspective of like how massive and intimidating and imposing this creature is.
so the creature gets very close to Luke, and it basically forces him to bow down instead of
Yeah,
killing
well,
him.
Luke
instead
started
of,
running to
Right.
try and get out, and the creature's chasing him, and it catches him in the woods.
Yes. And so he's forcing him to bow down. And he's not going to. So he gets right back up, and with this big freaking paw or whatever it is, he just like pushes him down.
The paw on the face.
Mm-hmm. And he
On the
gets up,
face.
and he cuts him with an axe. And
Well,
then,
yeah, he took the axe from the cabin
Yeah.
when he was running.
yeah,
And the creature doesn't know this.
obviously,
Yeah.
even though he's a god.
So he's like, if this was an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, he'd be like, let me ask you a question. And he axes the face on the face.
So then, so he runs away. He gets out of the woods, and it's basically the end.
Well, the creature can't follow him out of
Creature
the woods.
can't find.
So
I
so
think the-
so like Luke is like out in the woods in safety, and he's like just kind of like screaming in victory
In
and like
victory, yes.
and the creature's just standing there in the forest like
We'll get you the next time.
why I oughta, you know.
So I think this was a very it was a very good shot right before he runs out, but then it was very anticlimactic.
Well, yeah, and we'll get into that in our scores. But just a little research I did. This creature is actually named Moder, Moder,
Hmm.
and it is a bastard offspring of the god Loki.
Ooh.
Yes, and it is a creature from Norse mythology, and it grants his worshippers a naturally long life. Which is what one of the captors said was we worship him and we live longer
Without pain.
than normal. And like for whatever reason, well, out of fear, Luke did not want to worship this creature and decided to run.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Overall, this was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think the ending was after so much build up. the ending was a little anticlimactic because it was like, what do I need to do to defeat this creature? And it was like, well, just go out of the woods.
I mean, another thing is the this community of worshippers and what have you. They were that close to the edge of the woods. Wouldn't you think they would be right
Well,
in the middle of
the
it?
people who were worshiping the creature didn't want to leave,
Right, but
so they didn't
whoever
care. But
is marked to be chosen, if you're right in the middle of it, then it'll be harder for you to reach the end of the forest. Just thinking. I think there's a plot hole.
mm,
Just my
possibly.
thought.
So let's get into our scores then.
Yeah.
Do you have a pen?
I do not. That's okay.
Okay.
We can do it by memory.
No. We have technology.
So in our review, in our rating, we have three categories that we always review our movies, and the first category is the plot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me, I and we rated 0 to 5 or 1. Yeah, 0 to 5. Why not?
Yeah, we can give something a 0. If it was really
Yeah, if it
crappy,
was
we
really
can give
bad.
it a 0.
The plot to me, it was okay. I think there were some holes that maybe needed to be filled. Maybe not. Um,
That's what she said.
but I feel like it's incomplete. Maybe the book was better. I mean, the book
The
is
book's always
always
better.
better. And I was at Barnes and Nobles the other day, and because we're shopping for Christmas, and I saw it, and I was actually almost ready to pick it up, but I still have like 3 books that I'm still trying to finish.
Eh.
Yeah.
You've been
So-
trying to finish Pet Cemetery for 3 years.
It hasn't been that long, but so because the plot, I feel like it's missing something. I will give this a 3.
Okay.
A 3 elk faces out of 5.
Okay. I thought the plot was pretty original. The story was pretty original.
Yeah.
The pacing was pretty good. They really established the relationship between the guys, but also established the tension. I think again, like I said, the premise was original. The ending, just the last 5 minutes of the movie, not even the last 5 minutes, kind of left me flat. You were expecting some kind of epic battle with this creature, and all he did was like walk out of the woods. And I guess maybe according to the mythology, that was good. That would have worked, but for the movie, it kind of left me flat. But I still think the plot was really original. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. The next category is acting and directing. As far as the acting, I think it was great. All of the actors made me feel like they were genuine. Genuine? Genuine? Now that sounds weird.
Genuine.
Genuine. There you go. I feel like they convey their emotions very well. Um, the directing was good too. I think some of the scenes were so well shot. The like he said, the cinematography was absolutely gorgeous. Um, I think the color tone could have been either cooler. I just it. Mm, that's my only critique, and I'm not a film student or anything like that. So for this reason, I will give it 4 elk faces out of 5, What was your rating?
Oh, puncture wounds.
Oh, okay.
4 puncture wounds.
Okay, so I give it 4 elk faces
Okay.
out of 5.
I agree. I think it was very well acted. The writing was really good. The dialogue was believable.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was very genuine. Emotions were conveyed very well. All the actors in this movie did a great job,
Mm-hmm.
and so I will actually I'm gonna give it a 5 for that.
Wow.
Five puncture wounds.
Wow. Our last category is rewatchability, and to me, I liked. I've only this was my only my second time watching this, and I've explained before there aren't that many movies that I rewatch just for the heck of it. Obviously, I needed a refresher from the first time I watched this. Um, yeah, I mean, it's okay to rewatch. I don't think that I'll we rewatch it on purpose. There isn't much that is hidden away from the story or the plot. There isn't like a backstory to this creature or this mythology god or whatever. There isn't much that we need to rediscover the the next time you watch it. So I really don't want to give it more than a 2 elk faces out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with that. There wasn't a ton of like what you would consider like Easter eggs in
Mm.
this movie. Every little thing that could have been or every little cue or hint is shown to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time you see a flash of the creature, it's the main focal point of the shot at
Mm.
the time. So I give movies high rewatchability if there are a lot of little details that you have to rewatch to pick up on, or
Mm-hmm.
if the movie's just like so much fun that you want to put it on and watch it. And it's not that this movie's not fun, but it's not fun. It's
I mean, the
it's
best part of the
it's a
movie
good
is
movie.
looking at the creature.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and you might want to watch it again, just maybe for some snippets of dialogue you
Mm-hmm.
think you might have missed or something. But yeah, I agree. I would give it a 2. I mean, this movie's been on Netflix forever, and the only reason I really rewatched it was because it was your pick, and we were gonna watch it for the podcast. So yeah, I give it 2 puncture wounds. So your score, 4, 5, 6, 7, is a
9.
9 out of 15.
9 out of 15. That's actually really low considering a lot of the movies that we have reviewed are a little bit on the higher scale, like 10, 11, 12. So 9 is a little low. I still have had a lot of fun with this movie. I still think it's worth watching it at least once if you haven't seen it. Um, yeah.
Well, I have an 11 out of
Oh,
15 puncture wounds.
mm,
Um, because I think it's a well above average movie. It's
it
it's
is.
it's a really well acted movie, great cinematography, a
Mm-hmm.
good score. The
Yeah.
ending just kind of left me flat, and the low rewatchability score to me doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Right.
It's just that it's
It's
something that if I'm looking to just grab some popcorn and put on a movie, I'm going to put something else on
yeah.
before I watch this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But all in all, I would recommend it.
Yeah.
You know, watch it
Mm-hmm.
once. You'll have fun. You'll
Yeah.
you'll like it.
And again, you can watch this on Netflix. I don't think it's in any other streaming
No, I
service.
don't think it is.
Usually, Netflix exclusives are
Hence
Netflix.
hence the term exclusive.
Ooh, I just broke it now.
Oh no.
And so, with that said, it is time for
Well, it's what time is it?
what time is it?
Game time.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
And we are going to play horror movie trivia.
Before we go into the game, We need a little shot.
Do a shot with us, guys.
If you're drinking, drink with us. If you're not,
Don't.
don't. Simple as that.
All right.
Okay.
So, you didn't bring a pen, did you?
Okay, so you go
Wow.
first. Yeah, I need my glasses for this.
I do not have my
You
glasses.
You need my glasses?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to borrow yours. This is what happens when you get old. All right, everybody. How do I look? Okay. The category is Made in Ireland. What film sees grieving parents resurrecting their deceased daughter for 3 days? I can't even read it with these glasses,
What? Is there any clues you can give me? Have I seen it?
Probably not. I don't think you've seen any of these movies. Because I don't think I've seen any of these. Oh, I
Okay.
saw one of them, but here you can have your glasses. Oh, you can have your glasses.
Do not know.
You're not gonna know. It's called Wakewood.
Wakewood?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which maybe we'll get some suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've seen that one, let us know in the comments. Is it worth watching?
Is it worth watching? Is it any good?
Okay.
Is the wood good?
Okay. The category here is mythology.
Okay.
Don't be looking. Don't be looking. Okay. Okay. Who is the Roman counterpart to the Greek god Hades?
The Roman counterpart.
The Roman counterpart to the Greek god Hades.
Oh God. I haven't.
I believe Hades is another word for hell.
Well, yeah, that's where the whole thing comes from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually didn't know this.
The Roman. Is it Lucifer?
No. Give up?
Yeah.
Pluto.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're over. We're gonna be swapping glasses. Okay. The category is The Exorcist.
Okay.
Oh, you better. Let's see. I'm gonna have to give you a harder one then because you. Okay.
1, 2, or 3, or the series.
The Exorcist. 1.
Original.
What does Reagan use to communicate with Captain Howdy?
Holy shit.
Oh, the viewers that we have are screaming at you right now.
Wasn't a phone, was it? It couldn't be a phone.
No.
It was a game. I am ashamed.
This is sacrilege.
I am ashamed. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies,
Mhm.
classic movies. Tell me.
A Ouija board.
I thought about the Ouija board, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's how she first.
She goes down into the
In-
cellar or the basement.
Uh-huh.
What the heck?
The other one I was thinking about asking was name both priests.
Oh. Okay. Okay. These are movie taglines.
Okay.
You're good at this. You would know that one. Oh, you would know that one. You would know that one. You would know that one. Oh my god. All right, give me a number from 1 to 5.
3.
Okay. Ooh. What John Carpenter slasher film has the tagline "The night he came home"?
Halloween. Yeah. Glasses. Okay, famous quotes. Let's see. Oh, that's too easy.
I need an easy one.
Okay, we'll give you an easy one. A boy's best friend is his mother. Is from what 1960
Psycho?
film? Yep. Psycho. Okay, so there's your card.
Okay. Werewolves.
Okay.
Okay.
I like werewolves. I like turtles.
Let me look in. Ooh. 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 Okay. I want to give you a hard one.
Okay.
The legend of the werewolves of Ossuary is part of what country's medieval folklore?
How do you spell the thing that you're trying to say?
The legend of the werewolves of Ossuary, Ossory, is part of what country's medieval folklore?
What country? Sweden.
Ireland.
Ah, yeah, that does sound kind of Irish.
I know.
Glasses.
Have you gotten any of these answers right? These
These
were
are
hard.
some hard ones. Okay,
Yeah.
Jaws.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. What did the film crew nickname the shark?
I don't know. Look at the dog. He took the whole bed with him. I don't know.
Bruce.
Oh. This is not good. I mean, we are 101.
Uh-huh.
So. Okay. Ooh. Carrie, the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh.
Movie that still freaks me out to this day.
And there have been so many remakes.
Yeah,
and now they just did.
No.
Well, wasn't it Mike Flanagan
No,
that
I
just
don't
did
care.
a series?
I don't
well,
care.
I still want to watch it because it's Mike Flanagan and it's scary. Interesting. The school in Stephen King's novel Carrie
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
is called Ewan High School.
Okay.
What is the school called in the movie?
I knew you were gonna ask me that as soon as I heard high school. Fillmore.
No. The Bates High School.
Oh, God, I didn't know that.
No.
No, everything else about the movie. I love that movie. Okay. These are some obscure questions.
Yes, they are.
British horror.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give you such an easy one. I could give you so many harder ones, but what 1987 film begins with Frank Cotton solving a mysterious puzzle box?
Oh, Hellraiser.
Yep.
Yay!
That was an easy one. I gave you an easy one for that one because
thank
I
you.
felt bad.
Oh, you feel bad. Okay, creepy crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's too easy. Oh my god.
I just gave you an easy one.
Okay. Okay. What British film based on a novella by Frank Kafka sees a traveling salesman transform into a large insect? What British film based on a novella by Frank Kafka sees a traveling salesman
This is supposed to be an easy one?
I never said.
The Fly?
No. Metamorphosis.
I've never heard of it. You were I gave you an easy one. Anyway, that's the last time I'm going to do that.
I win. I never said I was going to give you an easy one. Did I?
Next time I'm going to be like, give me the name of Jamie Lee Curtis's dog in Psycho. And she wasn't even in Psycho.
I know. I was going to say I
know.
don't think she was in Psycho.
Her mom was. Janet Leigh.
Mm.
Anyway, so again, Thank you guys for watching, listening. You can see us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
Apple Podcasts.
Mm-hmm. iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. Let us know if you watched this movie and what you thought about in the comments. And if you watched this because of us, definitely let us know. We'll give you a shout out on our next episode.
And if you want to see a movie reviewed,
Yes.
we will review it. We've had one suggestion so far, Roberta, and we did it. So we will review any horror movie you want us to watch.
Also, Christmas is coming up. We are going to be doing a horror Christmas movie.
Thanksgiving.
We are not sure yet which Christmas. Although I know that
Chrysler.
a new Silent Night, Deadly Night is coming out. I think it's coming out on Shudder. So hopefully maybe that one. Love Christmas horror movies. I think
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, so was Die Hard. Anyway, if you have a suggestion for a Christmas horror movie, definitely let us know. We film usually in the weekends, and yeah.
So thank you again for watching, listening. We appreciate all the support we've gotten so far, and we hope that you guys continue supporting us, and we are out.